The Atlanta Hawks' third preseason game is in the books. Atlanta takes flight against the Miami Heat as we're supposed to. But have the Atlanta Hawks found their new secret weapons? There were no starters, no Trae Young, no Jalen Johnson, no KP. But still, we got the W. And we're going to talk about it right here on Hawks Digest right now. Welcome back. I am Chris Tipmore. Take off those shoes, leave on those socks, and we got a report for you guys right here again surrounding did the Atlanta Hawks find some more secret weapons? We know we had potential, but these guys absolutely stood out, and we got to talk about it right here. So, with that being said, before I get into it, let me do it. Thank you to everybody who is subscribed to Hawks Digest. As those percentages are getting even closer to being even, can't wait till we eclipse it. Shout out to the 47.9% who are subscribed to Hawks Digest. And if you are still a part of that 52.1%, come on now, let's do better than that and become a part of the Hawks Digest media family. We would love to have you here as, hey, we talk about all Hawks news all the time right here at Hawks Digest. Become a part of the family. So, guys, yeah, you already know Hawks and Heat. Hawks and Heat. And honestly, you look at this game. For me, I feel like it was a tale of each quarter. Because if you look at the quarters and just look at the points totals, if for those who just like the box score watch, you will see that they had some. First quarter was Atlanta, second quarter Miami, then it went back to Atlanta, back to Miami, ultimately leading to an overtime finish that was a thrilling finish. You got to give a shout out to the Atlanta Hawks, who again did not play any starters. There was no trade. There was no starters at all. No guys with major roles coming up. None of those guys played. This was all the young guys. This was all the guys who were looking to have something to prove. And guys, I want to start actually from the bottom and come all the way up to the top because I want to give a shout out to Charles Bassey, who was playing well on the defensive end. Overall, his rebounds, the man had 17 rebounds, okay? And we like guys who like to rebound. So you take that into account. Salute to him for that. He only had 7 points, but that's fine. He still was a plus 10 for those who care about the plus and minus margins. But again, those 17 rebounds were big because nobody else even had double digits. The closest was Jacob Toppin and Asa Newell. And of course, I'm going to get into those guys in a minute. But, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Charles Bassey. Great showing, you know what I'm saying, being a defensive anchor, rebounding. Also, Eli Indri, he was being a menace on the defensive end too. It doesn't show in his point totals, but ultimately he had a block. He was getting being disruptive in the passing lanes, had a couple rebounds. You know, overall, I feel like he was trying to find his way. So shout out to him as well. I know Lamont Butler dropped 18, former Kentucky player, and also you know him coming in was another guy who can be a ball handler as well. Now I still think he's going to end up in College Park, possibly playing. I think that's just where his destination is going to be. But still, I just want to give shout outs to guys who contributed to this win, honestly and truly. Now, before I get into the major parts, Caleb Houston, my goodness, what an acquisition for the Orlando Magic because going down that stretch in that overtime session, you saw that guys like Jacob Toppin getting to the free throw line, knocking down big free throws, huge free throws, by the way. You know, so you had to knock those down. But Caleb Houston being able to knock down that game winning three. And you know, it still wasn't over afterwards. We still had to play a little defense, had to cause guys to miss shots. But ultimately, Caleb Houston paying dividends already in preseason with his 21 points in his 32 minutes, but 21 points being 5 of 11 from the field. That's 45%. And also going 5 for 8. I repeat, 5 for 8 from the 3-point line, which helped him accumulate those 21 points. That's what you love to see. Again, you know, saying Keaton Wallace doing his best to facilitate and just keep the offense going. You know, he had a pretty quiet night. Didn't hit anything from the 3-point line, but ultimately still getting reps because he's going to be behind Trae. He is. So getting reps, you love to see it. But ultimately, great Hawks win. Great way to finish it because, again, like I said, this was like a seesaw battle all game. Points in the paint went to Miami. Fast break points went to Miami. Also, the biggest lead, of course, was the Atlanta Hawks with 14 points before that dwindled down. Bench points, Miami won the bench points too. It was significant margins because you think about it, the Miami Heat had starters in this game as well. Like Bam Adebayo played. What I seen Andrew Wiggins out there. I know Davion Mitchell was out there. Not saying that he's a starter, but I'm just saying like he was out there as well. So guys who are constantly in the rotation were playing. It was all guys who were looking to prove something against the Miami Heat for the Atlanta Hawks. So that's why I look at some of these numbers and I look at points in the paint being 70 to 48. I mean, that was just their bigs being able to do that and be able to dominate in the inside. But you look at the bench points being 73 to 58. And again, our bench was already in the starting role. So you take that with a grain of salt. But I love the fact that even though with the turnover battles, the Hawks won it 16 to 19. But I love that we won the points off turnover battles by an even larger margin, 28 to 13 against the Miami Heat. So that means when they would turn the ball over, we were going out, getting in transition, or just going out and just being able to execute on the offensive end, being able to add points to the totals. So you love to see that as well, man. And guys, just moving forward, I got to get into now the main event, guys. And I want to start with this young man here, and I'm going to bring him up on the big screen. Asa Newell. Asa ASAP Newell, showing that he belongs in the NBA, coming along slowly but surely. Asa Newell, man, what can you say about this young kid who is finding his way? He's only 20 years old. He's a long-term project, most likely. But you see him grabbing 8 boards, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 19 points. Come on now. I love seeing that from our young guys because it shows development. He didn't hit any threes. He was 0 of 6 from the 3-point line. That's going to happen because he's not a natural shooter. He's trying to become a guy who can stretch the floor in that aspect. So even if you take away those 6 misses, he still would have went 7 for 12. Think about that. Now he was 38% because he was 7 for 18, but 6 of those shots were threes. So he would have been 7 for 12 if he took no threes. Free throws, he was 5 of 9. We want him to continue to get better at that. I believe he still will. Again, like I said, 8 boards. Oh, the plus and minus margin for those who care about that, it was a +6 for Asa ASAP Newell. And moving forward, I believe he still possibly may end up in College Park to begin. But this kid, if he continues to be aggressive like he was in this game, I can see him being brought up to the main roster very quickly. If he's not even already have impressed his coaching staff enough to be on that main roster automatically. So we'll just see, man. We'll just see. But I'm happy to see like Asa Newell being able to find his way on this team, being able to find his way into the NBA. And you think about it, in the totality of all the performances we've seen from Asa Newell so far, it's been more good appearances, it's been good performances over anything being bad to where it's saying, he needs to work on that. He's a project. I feel like, so this guy, get him down there in the College Park into that development league. Again, we are very underrated down there, but we do good work. Get him down there and possibly just continue to let him hone on his game. Asa Newell is going to be up in the NBA ASAP. Seriously. But yes, before I get ready to get up out of here, got to get into the main event. Mr. Jacob Toppin, And if you have been following this channel, you guys already know how I feel about Jacob Toppin. I feel like he's going to be not only better than Obi, but I feel like this guy is a complete basketball player. He's not just a one-trick pony. It's not just one thing that he can do better than other. It just he is I feel like a complete player, and he is still only growing. You think about this guy. For peak's sakes, man, this man 41 minutes, played the most minutes out of everybody. He was 9 of 23. That's 39%. That can be worked on. At the end of the day, you love the fact that he was getting up shots. Only 2 of 9 from the three-point line, but both teams did not shoot the three ball well. So, you know what I'm saying? Just hold up. You know, so neither team shot the three ball well, but the Hawks did shoot it better than the Miami Heat. Again, 2 of 9, that's only 22%. You want to see that go up, but the free throws, he made them when it counted, especially. He missed 3, but he made the ones that mattered the most when they counted. Again, he was a +3. 9 rebounds for my guy Jacob Toppin. 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, only 2 turnovers, and 4 personal fouls. But, you know, it's preseason. You work that out. But again, that 26 points were big. He was a guy that was catching off the dribble and attacking immediately. He was attacking aggressively, and my thing is he's real well around the rim. He can put the ball into the basket. No matter what the angle is right now that I've seen from him being able to put the ball in the basket, Jacob Toppin is one of those players he just has so much talent, and he's been around the league, yes, but he's still a young player, still developing, and I believe that the Atlanta Hawks, with him and Asa Newell, they have some secret weapons. I wouldn't be surprised. And you guys, don't be surprised if Jacob continues to build off of performances like this. Jacob finds himself on the Hawks main roster by the time that we take on these Toronto Raptors on the 22nd. I can possibly see it. He brings in a different dynamic of scoring, defense, and again, like I said, just being an all-around player. I love Jacob Toppin's game, and I love seeing his growth. Shout out to each and every last one of those Hawks players that were out there against the Miami Heat. Nurkic, Butler, my goodness, Bassie, all those guys that I named, even Vit Krejci, because I know I didn't mention his name, or Dante in particular, but those guys put in work as well. Not necessarily on the scoring end, but overall just trying to be on the defensive end, grabbing boards, grabbing steals, or just, getting in guys' way. Ultimately, that was a team win, because it was some times to where it was just like, I don't know if the Hawks are going to be able to pull this out, but it shows more maturity as well, too. Being able to weather storms and still finish the game properly. And the only way to do that is to get that W. So, again, guys, Jacob Toppin, one of those ones. Asa Newell, one of those ones. And we take down the Miami Heat 119-118, making the Hawks 2-1 going into their last preseason game coming up this coming weekend against the Houston Rockets for the second time. Will Kevin Durant play? Who knows? It doesn't really matter whether he does or not. We still have 2 matchups against the Houston Rockets this season to where we possibly could see him anyway, guys. But before I get up out of here, man, make sure you guys are showing up for those Atlanta Hawks this year. They have a team that they have put together. We're still getting the cohesive camaraderie, all those good words, chemistry together. Support our Atlanta Hawks this year, guys. It's going to be an exciting season. I can't wait. Yes, I have tickets as I'm already getting ready for the game myself, so it's going to be some games I'm going to. Got to support those Hawks, man. Love Hawks basketball. Love basketball anyway. So until next time, guys, peace and blessings to you all. Big Hawks comeback. Big Hawks win. Big shots from players that you didn't necessarily expect it from, but you love to see it. Caleb Houston, salute. Jacob Toppin, Asa Newell, salute. The secret weapons possibly for your Atlanta Hawks. And until next time, peace and blessings to you all. And to you all,